They're gonna do it.
All right.
I just hit the button to go live, by the way.
Okay, that's fine. That's all right. As long as you don't hit the button to go live.
But I did hit the button to go live.
Or just don't hit it.
Too late.
Well, don't.
You know what I did? I hit the reset button.
Ah! Oh.
There we go. Now we're in a good mood.
Oh my lord. All right. Well, I just feel like I want to play some more Espionage. That's fun.
You really enjoyed that, didn't you?
I did. Even though you got a bullshit victory by not doing anything on 50. That was the worst. Like I can't imagine like I know what happened too cuz you didn't know what you were doing. You had no idea what you were doing and you just left it at 50% and you still won.
There was alcohol involved, wasn't there?
Oh, absolutely there was.
Okay.
There absolutely was alcohol involved. You
Okay.
having the most. Even though you have said in the past, I'm going to cut back on alcohol.
I have. What? I have.
Uh, I don't know about that.
It's just one day where I decided let's get crazy, and I did.
You made up for it in the whole 30 days. Good job.
Yay! I win. Okay.
You you had 30 days worth of alcohol in one night.
I don't know about all that, but
I would say that is accurate. That is a accurate assessment.
I know
If
like
you don't know the rules to some games and you're doing very poorly in these games by not doing anything, that just shows a
oh.
test of
You
how
want to
much
know the
alcohol
funny part about that whole thing? Like I was doing well in the games, which was just
you
mind
were
blowing.
not doing well in the games. I guarantee you that. Not in Overwatch, no.
Oh no. No, let's not talk about Overwatch. That's bad. Let's No, I'm talking about the Jackbox stuff where it's like not
And you
as
just bullshit your way through it.
yeah.
You absolutely did.
Yeah.
And you did very well.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree. But in terms of it, before all of this madness started, I was pretty sure that with this case, I had 14 previously, meaning that there were 16 left. When I got up the next day, I realized all 16 of those fuckers were empty.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, dear God, did I seriously do that? I should be dead.
But you're not.
No. I
You
don't
want
know.
to
I
know
could
why?
be. I'm a
Would
ghost.
you, would you like to know why?
Why?
Because you're Irish.
There you go.
And that with that note, we will begin this episode for October the 27th, 2016. I'm Tanner Larson. Over there is not a dead man. He should be though. He should be dead multiple times over, but he's not. Patrick Breeden.
I could be. I should be.
You really should be. With so many close calls, holy shit.
But I shan't be.
But you shan't be.
I'm trying, okay?
Your attempts are awful. Speaking of awful attempts, why don't we go ahead and talk about our first topic, and that is Nintendo Switch,
Uh,
where we talked about that last week, and I know issues happened with the recording of that episode, but regardless, it's out there and out there. It's out there and out there, is the best way I can describe it.
no
But
way.
regardless of that, there have been a lot of criticism coming out from that, especially from the investors, where Nintendo stock took a massive, massive dive when the Switch debuted. Because I think investors now have started to realize that they've seen this song and dance before. They've seen this dog and pony show before from Nintendo. And I don't know if they're going to really buy into that hype like they did with the Wii and the Wii U. Because they got burned on the Wii U. Hardly. Or not hardly, but greatly. They got really burned on the Wii U. And I don't know if it's more of hesitance with the Nintendo Switch or if it's some multiple other factors that play into that.
The way I would look at it with that is they've seen it before. You know, Nintendo came out, had a tablet controller, and said, we're going to revolutionize everything. And that really didn't happen. It really didn't. Like, for a little while, everybody considered copying it, but then they just moved on to VR and didn't care. Now, you've got another tablet type system, except this time the entire thing is the tablet. And they pretty much come out and say, look, we learned from our mistakes. Here's something new. And I don't think most investors who maybe they don't understand technology or anything like that all that well, they look at it and they're like, no. We've done this before, and like Rome is still burning with that.
Well, I will say this is that when trading ended on Thursday last week, Nintendo's stock was at $32.40. Going into Monday, it was $28.75. So it's not like they lost like $10 in shares. It's not like a massive like cliff dive or anything, but it's still a significant amount in that drop to have investors really go on and say, are we really invested in a winning company? Because I feel like that's what investors are looking at, is that they need a profitable company, and Nintendo may be taking a loss on the Switch, which is not going to be beneficial to anybody in the market sense. Now, there is some hype to Nintendo Switch. Don't get me wrong on that. There is some hype to it because recently Unreal Engine 4 support has been confirmed by Nintendo, and this is just a rumor, but it's a very big rumor, that the official Hearthstone account, Play Hearthstone, tweeted the following, quote, "We see you, Mario, #NX." And that was tweeted to at Nintendo America. So there's a very big rumor there. And normally 2-year-old, 3-year-old games, they don't matter anymore. But Blizzard is another whole nother beast, and one to really pay attention if Nintendo wants to make any sort of play on anything.
Plus, it's a game that is always updated. So,
oh, absolutely. It's still updated even to this day, and it's a very huge, like, it's got a huge following.
They're already teasing a new expansion, if anything.
Yeah.
This thing is not going down.
With its esports following and its Blizzard community being as massive as it is, Nintendo, if I were anybody in charge at Nintendo, it's like, we need to contact these guys as soon as possible so we can get some games on there from Blizzard. What if Overwatch was on Switch? That would be awesome. Too late. That would not be too late for Nintendo. Because, I mean, you still have the Xbox One and the PS4 who have Overwatch. True.
Yeah.
But this game still sells in the top 10.
Yeah, and Blizzard games are optimized to run pretty well on just about anything, as long as it's fairly up to date. Like, you don't have to have the latest and greatest PC to run Blizzard games. And I think that's primarily the way they design it. They want you to be able to play it no matter what you've got going on there. But I'm going to give you a narrative of why that idea, it excites me so much. Mm-hmm. Okay, so say we're all at MagFest or something like that.
Right.
And we want to go to the food court and we want to grab some food. We just want to chill there for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Everybody takes their Switch and everybody plays Overwatch together.
That would be really amazing.
I know.
That would be real. I don't know if they've really released any battery specs still. And everyone's still buying into the idea of, maybe I should get a Nintendo Switch. Maybe. And it's like I said, we haven't learned the battery specs. Because if the battery specs turn out to be garbage, there's no way this thing is going to survive the market.
Well, there's the other thing. I mean, I know we say that, and we said it last week, and I know other people are saying it, but the thing that I would have to ask at this point is, don't you think Nintendo knows that too?
I would certainly hope so. Like
Because
we said some things in the past where we thought, okay, Nintendo knows what they're doing, and they don't know what they're doing on these things. Sometimes they just don't know.
well,
Like
battery life with
we've had Satoru Iwata, God rest his soul. We've had Satoru Iwata say that gamers don't want online play. Our gamers don't want online play, and look how badly that statement has burned on them.
I agree. I mean, there have been some hiccups in the past, but at the same time, 3DS has good battery life, so they knew
Good
what was
battery
going on
life,
with that.
yes.
Yeah. Wii U,
But on the flip side of that, the Wii U tablet has 4 hours of battery life, which is inexcusable.
man, I thought it was 3.
It's 3 to 4. It's somewhere
Okay.
very in the it's a poor range, regardless.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I could almost understand what they were thinking with the gamepad because you could just plug it up to the Wii U and charge it while playing. So you're not supposed to be too incredibly far from it. So that's why I say I can understand kind of what they were thinking with that, but it was still a poor choice. But I don't think they're going to make that kind of decision again, simply because Kimishima, he's a businessman through and through.
Yes.
He is not a dreamer like Iwata was. Not at all. I mean, he surrounds himself with dreamers, but he's a businessman. And I think he knows if he releases that with bad battery life, it's dead on arrival.
Yeah. They have to realize that after what has happened with the Wii U, because that was one of the major gripes about the Wii U, aside from a lack of third-party support and many other things, like a poor online network. Like, the Wii U battery life for the gamepad was atrocious. It was awful.
Agreed.
That was one of the major gripes about that, and I think they have to realize we need to up the game if we're going to have a chance at some market share. Because that's what it really boils down to, is market share. And I know some people don't really want to dwell on that. We've had Chris Pranger say in the past about, Japanese games coming over to the States and how that is a very tricky situation. I mean, his job was on the line with that statement, whether he knew it or not. And this company is a very conservative company in a very, very liberal market, I would say. And I hate to use politic terms in that, but that's what it is.
Yeah, in terms of it, they definitely want to make sure that, they're going to have some type of impact. I think that's the big thing they've always, wanted to make sure they achieved. And that's why, they had dreamers that dreamed up these crazy ideas like Wii U. And they came out and pretty much said, even if it doesn't do as well as we expect, we made an impact because everybody knows who did this first or who came up with this. And that's great, but with this one, I don't think they're going too far out of left field because tablets, okay, that's normal.
Yeah.
Tablets that you can connect peripherals to, that's not super out of the ordinary either, but
it's not common.
No, it's not common. And that's why I think they're not pioneering this time. I think they're taking what they learned before and implementing it into this. And that's why you've got companies like Blizzard that's looking into it. Like our good buddy DeMetal said there, you've got fighting game devs that are looking into it. So next thing you know, you might have Street Fighter V, Mortal Kombat XL, and plenty of other fighters on the thing. And I've even seen like some ideas for the Joy, whatever they're called. I'm just going to call them joysticks, so you just put on the side. I know they have a name, but I can't remember. But some people have even, conjured up the idea that, like, 2 pieces that would make a fight stick that you slide on either side. And then you've got a screen in the middle with a fight stick. So
Maybe.
these possibilities are endless.
They're endless, but they also have to be realistic because the ball is now in their court. It really is in their court because you have third-party support that you've been trying to conjure up for God knows how long. You also have the interest. The interest is there. The innovation, in some sense, like it's not groundbreaking by any means, but there is some slight innovation to it. So they have everything going for them currently, except for, the stock market and all that, but that wavers from time to time. So that's not terribly a big issue, but it is an issue currently that the business side of it has to address. Regardless of that, everything is in Nintendo's like court now. The ball is in their court.
Mm-hmm.
If they throw it out of bounds or if they like mess up in any way, that's on them. And they have to take responsibility for it. They can't make an excuse like they did with the Wii, the GameCube, the Wii U. Like, everything is on them now if they screw up. And I feel like people are starting to finally realize that this is a company that doesn't exactly take its own responsibility into play.
Not always. I think, they have dreamers more than business people, at least in the past, at least, because we know Iwata was a major dreamer. That was pretty much his thing, to dream of the future.
Okay, but that's fine to dream, but
right.
The thing is, you have to take reality into a sense where
and I don't
have
think
to stop,
he ever did.
You have to stop daydreaming at some point and realize, hey, we're behind and our investors don't believe in us. We need something to really get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. In terms of it, he may not have always taken that part seriously because he was like, well, this dream didn't work the way I expected. Time to dream something else up. And when Wii U was, just kind of limping along, he dreamed up Amiibo figures. And there you have it. A new explosion for Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we're going to see a bigger responsibility in the future with the company now because, like I said, Kimishima is not a dreamer. He is a businessman through and through. He'll surround himself with dreamers to create the hardware and the software, but he's not a guy that's going to put his head in the clouds and just daydream. He's going to ask, what are the numbers and what can we do to improve them? And
which
that's
can
what
be
should be asked.
Which can be a good and a bad thing because we've seen the good from it with Kaz Hirai, who's totally a businessman, but he knows what his brand is and how smart he is to develop that brand into something great. And we've seen the bad side of it with Don Matrick and how he just totally dismantled that brand.
Oh, Don Matrick, the destroyer of the industry.
Like, I don't know how he did it with his Xbox brand. Like, he made all the worst decisions you could with a business, and then he went to Zynga and destroyed that casual market, or that casual company, whatever you want to call it. But
yeah.
Regardless, Don Matrick, we've seen like the bad side of business in the gaming industry, and Don Matrick is it, but we've also seen the good side of it, and that is definitely Kaz Hirai.
Oh, so with Don Matrick, you don't have to remind me. Remember that article I wrote for Screw Attack where I said that he was toxic for the industry?
Absolutely, and that has been proven. But regardless, Kimishima needs to learn from those two mistakes, or not those two mistakes, but like those two examples.
Okay, better choice of words.
Yeah, because I was about to think like, what did I say? It was another mistake, but regardless, he needs to learn from those two examples and improve upon them.
Right.
Whether that was for better or worse.
Absolutely. And really quick, I just remembered the name of those things. They're called Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons? That's the official name of it.
Joy-Cons.
I can see why investors are starting to have doubts with Nintendo. That's a terrible name.
That's what they...
I can definitely...
they did with it. I guess they're a joystick and a controller together. I don't know. Joy-Cons.
I can definitely see the investors side. That's why there was a dip in price. Anyway.
Okay.
The Metal Gut Game, real quick, says Iwata just got used to working under pressure. His best work was under crunch time and kind of listed by when things were slow. That's accurate. That's fair. But, man, he dreamed up too much stuff. And a lot of it, honestly, did not pan out for the hardware.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he liked to work under pressure. He liked to dream up. I mean, I would say being under pressure is probably what helped him dream up the Amiibo lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fantastic when you're that
That's
kind of
great. That's
yeah,
great, but that's kind of slowed down now.
when you're that kind of a mastermind. I mean, that helped push Nintendo for like 2 years at that point, so that was great. But some of his dreams, they fell kind of flat. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But let's move on to our next topic. And our next topic is a bit of a doozy, something I would love
Yeah,
to talk about.
the real dreamers.
The real dreamers, my God. 2K Games. And for those who don't know, 2K Games is a failing product. Like seemingly hyped up hit after hyped up hit that didn't really pan out.
Failing brand.
Tell us more.
But
Tell
yeah.
us. Tell us more, Patrick.
Yeah, you mean failing brand, but we'll go
Failing
with that.
brand, whatever.
So the reason why we chose to talk about that is because news got out that Evolve is dying. It's dead. Turtle Rock Studio would love to continue it and continue the series, but no, 2K Games isn't having it anymore. And we were talking about, like, when it comes to 2K Games lately, if you have anything to do with that company, you just produce garbage. From, like, Evolve has been awful since day one. Then you've got Battleborn, which has been a giant disaster. And pretty much the way we saw it is, unless you have a 2K sports game, or if you have Borderlands, there is no reason to get anything from 2K. Like,
None.
no. Just no.
I don't understand like how they can mess up as a brand, because all you have, as you mentioned, is sports games, which the NBA series has done very well. WWE needs a little bit of work, but it's successful nonetheless. Then you have the Borderlands brand, and then what else? You have Battleborn. Good job. You released it at the same time as like 3 other candidates for Game of the Year.
They like
in
to
one
kick.
month.
They like to kick BioShock around every once in a while.
Once in a while. But I mean, BioShock Infinite was the last time they released a BioShock game, wasn't it?
Yep.
And that
Yeah.
worked out very well.
They did
I
an
mean-
HD collection recently. Of
That
like-
was okay.
Yeah. Okay, HD remakes are getting out of control, first and foremost. Jesus! Like,
They really are.
okay, your game was only in 720. Oh my god, that's so terrible. Let's put it up to maybe 1080. We're not quite sure. 60 frames. Okay, I get it. That sounds really good to me, too. But damn, man. Seriously.
Oh, what else did they have? They had Evolve, which had a community of all 3 people. So to the 3 people who were playing Evolve on a daily basis, this comes as a huge shock to them. What else did they have? I mean, they had Duke Nukem Forever, which didn't turn out great, of course, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Because that just, that didn't do so hot.
But are they planning on doing another Duke Nukem? If since this one didn't pan out.
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna make more Duke games. Gearbox is like gonna churn that out because that's one of the things they have right now. But in terms of Evolve, for anybody who didn't pay attention to it, the reason why it kind of crashed and burned as hard as it did is because when the game first came out, they just just punched DLC down everybody's throats day one, just violently beating the hell out of people with DLC. And the game just continued to dwindle. Repeated special sales on like PlayStation Network, Xbox, everywhere else. Cheap Evolve everywhere. Nobody still gave a damn because you still had to buy all the DLC for it to matter. Plus, I hear it was very fun and just kind of boring. But that doesn't help. Then they were like, well, we're going to make it free to play. We'll do that. Yeah, that didn't help either, and now it's just dead.
Yep.
So the 3-4 people who are playing are probably just going to be like, wow, Battlefield 1. Bye, guys.
Oh my goodness. Well, Battleborn didn't help either because it's like I said, that game got released at a very bad time.
Oh, yeah.
I played the beta of it. It was all right. It was a game that could have survived.
Yeah, you
that
were
game
okay with
could've-
it. I thought it was ass.
That game could have survived on its own legs. Now, would it have been like an esports powerhouse? Of course not.
No.
But you can't release that game in the same month as Overwatch, Doom and Overwatch came out in the same month, I believe.
They
Correct.
did. Mm-hmm.
And what else was it? Uncharted 4.
I can't remember if Uncharted 4 came out in the same month, but all you have to say is Doom and Overwatch, and that is like,
That's a death sentence for a
yeah,
game.
that is just complete devastation upon the games industry at that point, because you know Doom and Overwatch is going to be taking everybody's money.
Like, why would you not delay that game, or at least like try to like speed up production? It's like we need to get this game out like a month in advance, or like
Arrogance. Arrogance is why. Because they thought that
Did they-
Overwatch wasn't going to be a thing.
bullshit. Bullshit. It's not going to be a thing.
Oh, well, you could
that's
say
why-
that, but I'm telling you, Randy Pitchford was arrogant as fuck and thought he would just throw it out there and everybody eat it up.
His arrogance, and I love Randy Pitchford. I really do, but his arrogance is going to get the better of him and his company.
Oh, I agree. I've actually spoken to Randy before through emails, and he seemed like a really nice guy, but fuck, you can't be that arrogant. You can't
can't.
just be like, oh, it's a Blizzard game. Ha, yawn. Just put it out anyway. You
No.
can't do that.
No one company or person in this industry can get comfortable. Not even Blizzard.
No.
Not even Blizzard. As much of a powerhouse as they are, with all their hits of Diablo, StarCraft, Overwatch, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, you cannot get comfortable. If you get comfortable, there's always going to be another company coming up underneath the wings, ready to go, and they're going to dismantle your community because they got the bigger and better product coming up. But if that company, that up and coming company, gets arrogant, then people are going to be dissuade from that, and then they'll go back to whatever they were doing previously. So no one can get comfortable, nor can they get cocky. Because if you get both of those, if you get comfortable and cocky, you might as well just end your company. You might as well just call it
agree.
quits.
I agree. When it came down to it, I mean, and it's not like Randy wasn't aware of what Overwatch was doing. There were plenty of betas before the game came out. I mean, when you have something that's going to compete in the market and you're trying to get more sales than the other thing, of course you're going to pay attention to it. So it's not like it blindsided him. No,
I mean,
he
look
just
what
thought
hap-
he could outdo it.
Look what happened with TF2. I think TF2 got a little bit comfortable despite its age. Like, its age was not a helpful factor to it against Overwatch as well. But you can't say that, Valve didn't get comfortable, because they did with TF2. It was their moneymaker.
Mm-hmm.
With their
Sell all
free
of the
to play.
hats.
Sell all the hats and all of the weapons that you can find. But man, they really got comfortable. They didn't see Overwatch coming
Yeah, it bit them in the
at
ass.
all. And it
Yeah.
bit that community in the ass. It really did.
Oh, yeah, it messed their day up bad. And, the guys in chat are making a really good point, too. It didn't help that a lot of fans, or a lot of gamers, I should say, saw Overwatch and Battleborn as the same type of game. Not at all. One is an objective
They're not
arena
the same
shooter.
thing.
Yeah, one's an objective arena shooter like TF2. The other's a MOBA. But in terms of it, they looked familiar. They were coming out at the same time. And that's when, the hype for Overwatch was starting to build, because remember when I said people were calling it the TF2 killer? That hype started to build, and people were like, TF2 killer? What the fuck? So they had to try it out, and I think, the hype from that very phrase made everybody think, well, I've got to try this, and Overwatch just won out. I'm not going to say because of that reason. I'm sure that was a factor, but
It was a factor, yes, because
we know
we've heard
history shows Overwatch won.
we have heard we've addressed this on the show as well too. We have heard TF2 killer for how many years, Patrick?
Oh, yeah.
How many years?
Oh, I've heard that in terms of World of Warcraft. Every MMORPG that comes out, man, it's the World of Warcraft killer. It doesn't matter what came out. So, yeah, it's a buzz phrase at that point. You say it to gain hype. But I have to say, the fans who are really into the betas that they participated in, who started using that phrase when talking on Reddit and other social media platforms, I'd say it worked.
It worked. It definitely worked. The one time out of hundreds of times that it turned out to be true that this was a TF2 killer. Because we've heard, like I said, uh, the TF2 killer over and over again, like you said, World of Warcraft killer over and over again, and we've heard COD killer, Call of Duty killer, like over and over again now.
Yeah, and
And
we've
I
yet to
don't
see
know,
that thing die.
we've yet to see that. And Titanfall has been coined that as well. Which, how well did that work out? How well did that work
Oh,
out?
I forgot
And
about that until you said it.
I don't understand, because why would you coin something as a Game X killer? Because
Yeah, I
it's
forgot
not
that
going to
Titanfall
pan
was
out
called
ever.
that.
And I remember I said on the show that this was not going to be a TF2 killer, because how many times have we heard it before? But this is the one time that it turned out to be true. So good job on batting average.
There you go. So, and let's just get it straight. I mean, that doesn't mean nobody plays TF2 anymore. That's not true.
Absolutely. That's not true, because this still has a good, sizable community, but it's just that sizable community has been dismantled by, I want to say, 2/3 because of Overwatch.
It's been heavily dismantled, and you're always going to have people playing TF2 because it's free.
Yeah.
That's
another,
the reason. It's free.
That's another very good main driving point for TF2, is that it's free. Free to play.
You don't have to buy the game. You just download it and play.
Whereas,
Overwatch is not the same.
Whereas Overwatch has not gotten a price drop at all. It's still
Nor should it.
No, absolutely it shouldn't, because it still has that staying power. And $60, I feel like, is a very justifiable reason why you should purchase that game. Some people have made the argument why it should be free to play, but I feel as if that would hurt Overwatch more. Like, yes, you can buy the loot boxes and all, and they can make their money off of that way, but that is not a long-staying plan, I feel.
No, I don't like the idea of that being the plan for the game. I'm very much okay with, paying for it, and then, like, any DLC rollouts they have are going to be free of charge. That's always good.
Yeah.
And since BlizzCon is happening in less than 2 weeks, I am telling you straightforward, there is going to be new Overwatch content to see.
Oh, there definitely will be.
Oh, absolutely.
I've said on Twitter, I think, about 2 weeks ago, that what if Sombra just turns out to be just this short and no new hero? How much of a troll would that be?
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
I predict they're going to introduce 2 new heroes.
Oh yeah, Sombra is going to be one of them.
Oh
of
yeah.
Course.
That's definitely going to happen. 2 new
if
heroes,
they just hype up all this, if they just hype up all this time on amomentincrime.com for just a little short on YouTube, oh my god, that would be the ultimate troll in this industry. I can't think of anything else that would be just so, like, worthy of, like, I gotcha. It was a gotcha moment if this happens, but of course it's going to be Sombra with a new character. We're going to see another new character and new maps. That's the rumor that's going out. And wow. Just imagine, though, the look on everyone's faces.
Oh my. That would
there will
just
be pitchforks, there will be riots.
There'll be a lot of pissed off people in one arena. That's for certain.
Yes.
That would not be good.
That'd be definitely one way to hear a war cry.
Everybody who doesn't even play World of Warcraft would be like, Loktar, Ogar, and then just murder them. But seriously, since we're on that topic, can I just gush for just a moment, if you would, people? Gush about how excited I am that BlizzCon is almost here. Yeah, just give me that moment.
Go for it.
Oh my god, this is going to be the biggest BlizzCon ever in terms of, like, everything that they've got down, everything that they're going to be showing. Very, very good chance of a new Diablo. Holy hell. Diablo 4? Diablo 4 could be happening. It's either going to be an expansion or a brand new game is what they've been teasing.
So I'm wondering then, because here's the thing with that, though. How much is Diablo 3 currently?
I think with that and the DLC pack, maybe 50, maybe 40.
You would think that they would maybe have a price drop, like, a little before Diablo 4 is announced. Usually that is the norm. That is the norm with most companies. Like, if they have a new game coming out, or like a sequel coming out, usually they'll do a price drop a week before or whatever.
It's not with them, Because if they start doing things like that, everybody immediately is like, "Oh, it's happening."
Yeah.
So they don't
I
like
can
to do
see
that
that
because it
point of
gives it
view.
away.
I can see that point of view, but what if it's just like a curveball that they don't do Diablo 4 and they just did a price drop on Diablo 3 and then like a week after BlizzCon they announce Diablo 4?
Oh no, no, no! That's not Blizzard's MO. They would never ever do that. They
They
like
wouldn't
to
throw a
get
curveball to fans?
no. They would much rather get everybody in the room at BlizzCon and tell them we got something exciting to show you. Like a random developer would come out and you have no idea this guy has anything to do with Diablo. He's just wearing a polo shirt with the Blizzard logo. You don't know why he's there. And he just comes out and says, "Hey, we have something really exciting to show you." Walks off the stage, lights go off, screen comes on, and then they punch Diablo right down your throat. And then it creates an amazing feeding frenzy of people just screaming to get the game now. That's how Blizzard likes to roll.
I just like to imagine people just being punched in the face with Diablo and just being force fed something like that physically, and then they're just having they're just having tears of joy streaming down their face as they're being force fed something.
And the best part about
That's a
being
great
at...
that's a great visual to have.
Oh my god, I'm trying. The best part about being at BlizzCon, when something crazy like that happens, like a huge mind-blowing announcement, they're going to have a build of the game for you to try on the floor that very day.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with Overwatch, and everybody lost their minds. They did it when they announced Legion, so everybody got a chance to try that way before it was time. And they're going to do it with whatever this is. If it's an expansion for Diablo 3, okay, I'm happy. If it's Diablo 4, okay, mind blown. If they come out and introduce Warcraft 4, I'm just going to go in the streets and just start screaming maniacally.
So what if they announce Diablo 4 and Warcraft 4?
I'm going to set myself ablaze.
So you'll be even more orange.
Yes, it won't just be the hair.
All right. Well, I think we covered most of our bases here. We covered a little bit of BlizzCon. We've covered how poorly 2K Games is going and how that's beneficial to some people, not everybody, but some people, and how Nintendo needs to get his button gear.
Pretty much.
Yep, I think that's all the bases covered. So with that being said, this has been Super Reset Brothers for October the 27th, 2016. I'm Tanner Larson.
And I am Patrick Beredin.
We will see you guys next time. Take care.
The fuck was that? Yeah.
And that's how it ends. Is what the fuck was that?
Well,
I
you
got the great response that I wanted.
It's just like, did he turn to the fucking Fonz? What is this?
Hey. No, I don't have my leather jacket.
He's gonna walk in and be like, "Hey, Mr. B." Be like, "Get the fuck out of here. Don't ever Skype me again."
Hey, Mr. B, get the fuck out of my shop.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted that Happy Days episode. Where was that episode for Henry Winkler? Forget jumping the shark. Hey, Mr. B, get the fuck out of my store, kid.
Holy fuck, that would be amazing. Let's see.
That's a Family Guy joke waiting to happen.
I'd insta-cream if Warcraft 4 was announced. I just said I would light myself ablaze, so you've gotta bring it up a bit.
Well, I think he's not wrong that he shares a lot of emotions with the other people. Me, personally, I might not care.
Fuck you.
Because I feel like I'm a neutral party with Blizzard.
That was the instant response I had. I was like, well, fuck you, okay.
Good. Very good, yes.
It's like, oh, I'm not excited. Get fucked. I don't know what to say. Good for you. It'll be okay. You'll live. You'll live.
I know I'll live. I'll be fine. I'll be just dandy.
I still care. Okay, I still care.
With Diablo 4, though, I might be excited.
Oh, I still play Diablo 3. That would be amazing. Let's see. Hoping Quake Champions is good. I have a lot of people. I think a lot of people hope that, and in terms of it, I hope so as well, because You know, it needs to be good. If it's shitty, that's not going to be very good.
Well, thank you for your
It,
outstanding analysis.
I know. If it's shitty, that's not going to be very good.
If it's
That's
a,
just going to be
if it's a
bad.
shitty game and it gets bad ratings, there's a chances are that it's not going to be very enjoyable.
It's not going to be a good game if this happens.
Stellar analysis, John Madden.
No problem. In terms of it, I do hope that it does really well because I predicted it and it happened. So, in terms of if it turns out to be shit, I'd just be like, everybody forget that I said it was going to be announced. Just be like,
You just kind of put that aside. It's like, no.
Yay! Don't need to remember that. It's kind of like if The Last Guardian just blows. Everybody's going to be like, you fucking Tanner.
Here's my guess
Oh, God.
on what Metacritic is gonna say for the now gone gold Last Guardian.
Oh,
Holy shit! It finally went gold, Patrick.
It finally went.
It finally went gold.
You've been waiting for it half your fucking lifetime, and it's finally got gold.
Waiting for it for 10 years, it seems.
Oh my
Even though it's
God.
not been that long. It's been like, what, 6, 7?
It's still been a long time. It's been a
Still been a
ridiculous
long
amount of
time. He actually... Holy shit! The Metal God game actually hopes that The Last Guardian blows. Okay, let me give you my... I hope it doesn't. I really hope I'm wrong on this. Where I think Metacritic will say that it will be a 65.
I just think it's hilarious that he's like, I hope it blows. And I'm just like, why?
He just hope it's a 30. Like, whoa! Why? Like, I hope it does not blow. I mean, my expectations are it's going to be fairly average.
And wouldn't that be a disaster as long as everybody's been waiting? But it's probably the truth.
It's going to be a Duke Nukem situation where the game has been in development for so long and there's no way in hell it will live up to its expectations. So it's going to get an average or below average score, where I think it's going to get a 65 out of 100 on average on Metacritic.
Well, I think the game is going to wash my car and make me pancakes. Am I going to be disappointed?
What does that mean? Like, do you think the game is going to be good?
No, I just think it's going to wash my car and make me pancakes.
Well, they can't cook you pancakes. It doesn't have any hands.
Fuck. I am going to be disappointed. Damn it! That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted out of The Last Guardian. And it's going to disappoint me day one. This is great. Just great. Ruined. Hashtag fuck Sony.
Oh. Oh my word.
You gonna make it?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So no, give me a realistic expectation for you, Patrick.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be an average kind of game. It's gonna have some platforming. It's gonna have probably not too amazing of a narrative, but it's gonna have platforming action, bit of puzzle solving. You know, the kind of usual you would see from like classic PS2 era stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I honestly, that's what I expect from it.
If anyone scores this game 90 or higher, they're kidding themselves.
I think you're going to play it and realize, yeah, this is The Last Guardian. It's a new game, but why am I getting that nostalgia vibe? Because it's going to be PS2 era stuff.
Yeah, of course it is. But, I mean, I'm just saying that any reviewer who plays this game and scores it, like, if they scored an 80, that's reasonable. I can understand that. Like, it could potentially be a good game. But if they score it 90 or 100, come on. There's no way.
No,
There's
I hope that
0% chance that this game becomes a 90 to 100 game.
Yeah, I hope that they just, treat it like a game and not like some sort of like amazing relic that they've like gone through the fucking Temple of Doom to find or something like that. Just, review it normal. Don't get silly.
By the way, did the new Call of Duty come out yet, or is that in November?
I'm not certain. I'd have to look it up, but
'Cause I want that remastered Call of Duty 4 action.
Oh yeah, you're
I
right.
want that. But the only way to get it, of course, is to get the actual new Call of Duty game, where I'm hoping to pick up a physical copy for the PC, use that code on the inside for the remastered Call of Duty 4, and then go back and sell the game.
Whatever works, I guess.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
Yeah,
and then you can use the cash back to maybe buy a new game that you would enjoy later on without, Call of Duty 4.
Fair enough. I got a chance to play Battlefield 1.
How is that?
If you sign up for EA Access, you get a chance to play that early. It's a timed demo. It's 10 hours, but you can play any mode you want to on it. Multiplayer, single player, story, any of it. And it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I hear Total Biscuit doesn't like it, but fuck that.
It's not. It's obviously not like the Donkey video where you just spawn in and die. I can fairly safely say that, right?
Yeah, that I haven't seen any silly craziness like that. Though I wish I did. I'd love to see Donkey show up and just cause something insane like that.
His video was just him continuously spawning and dying. That was the whole video. Okay. That, or else he would just like spawn into a match and he would instantly win or lose.
Okay, before we call it quits here, that reminded me, like, in terms of it, I always heard like his Dark Souls stuff was pretty good but not super amazing, so I decided to watch the first Dunk Souls. And like the funniest part is where like, or maybe this was 2. It doesn't matter. The bird comes up.
Doesn't matter.
The bird comes up, grabs him, and flies away because he's like hiding in the nest of eggs. And he just starts cackling, and he's like, "You idiot! I'm not an egg at all!" And I'm just like, "Oh my god!"
We need more people like Donkey. We really do. Just to have that kind of fun in video games. It's just like this stupid bird thinks I'm as one of its children.
So if you watch like any type of Let's Play thing where it's like, I'm not going to pick on Game Attack because I actually think their stuff is pretty cool. But
yeah,
if you like that style of video, then why aren't you watching Donkey? No offense to them, but Donkey is the king.
Game Attack reminds me of that one time Donkey beat Sky at Smash.
Oh, I've seen that video. And then, like, his overdunk, I never figured out if that was really JonTron he was talking to.
Oh, it was. No, he definitely knows John to a degree.
So he was like, JonTron, I think this is character for you. It's Bastion.
And then just zooms in on the bird. Oh.
Been following Donkey since he broke
out of League of Legends.
Yep. And in terms of that, I don't think he's seriously. I don't think he's going to bother with that game ever again. I think that's
he's banned. He's been banned from Riot.
Well, yeah, they banned him because he was being toxic. Yeah. It seemed like some guy was being a shitbag, so he responded, but he got called out for being toxic. He could just create another account and go in, but I think he was like dead serious when he said he was done with that.
Well, of course, because in my opinion, I think like he's been playing that game for so long at such a high level, it burns you out when you just get a group with friends together and it's just like, well, okay, let me just go on Firefox and then we'll just like run League of Legends or whatever.
Oh my god, we need to do that sometime on here. We need to just like
with the Jackbox, I think we do.
If people watched us play that,
if people watch us play Jackbox, oh my god, we would be just ridiculed. I think.
I think everybody would hate
that, or else people would join in on the fun.
They would either love us or hate us, and you know what? I'm willing to juggle this double-edged sword.
I'm kind of willing to do that as well. to be honest. Like
'Cause,
it's
I
either
mean,
it's honestly a love or hate thing. Like you think it's funny or
yeah.
you think it's just like stupid and dumb and very hateful.
Yeah, I mean, the people who like what we do and they come check it
There's no
out.
gray area.
I mean, they like what we do. Even if we come on here and I make jokes about fucking video games, washing my car, and making pancakes, they don't care. Which, yes, I did. So
But the thing
they don't
is,
care
like,
about that.
I think we're in the good. I think we're in the right here because you look at games like Million Dollars Butt and Cards Against Humanity and people how they act in that game or those games. I think we're okay. It could be a lot worse.
We could be a lot worse. So, like, I guess if you want to come in and see like us watered down and fairly under control, you'll come watch Super Reset Brothers. At other times, we're going to be all over the fucking place.
You're going to be all over the place too.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get alcohol in your system of that level of volume,
I am all over the place. I'm pretty wild. I am pretty out of control, so that's what I do. But before we go, what should I? Oh yeah, the G1 Game Days Extra Life thing. I am going to be participating in that.
Mm.
Uh,
when
the-
is the extra life thing?
I don't think it's this weekend. I think it's next weekend.
Okay.
Because everybody knows I do Sparring Sunday. I'm taking a break. Yeah, it's next weekend. I'm taking a break from sparring this Sunday so I can get prepared for a doubleheader next weekend, the one afterward, because I'm going to be doing streaming on Saturday. The schedule is not final, so I can't tell you exactly when or what I'm playing. And then Sparring Sunday right after that. So 2 straight days of hardcore game streaming.
Wow.
So
Excellent stuff.
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give the thumbs up. Okay, we got to get out of here. No more. Let him get it out of his system. Just deal with it. 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 I'm tired of saying the same thing. No. Okay. This. You see what happens? He's broken. Don't fucking encourage him. You're still fucking.
Are we off there?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're doing this. He's encouraging you with Super Meat Boy. This. Oh my god. I hope somebody cancels this show. I hope the FCC fucking sues us somehow. This show is shit. What the hell? Okay, well. We'll see you next week. I'm ending this. I'm ending this right now. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.